Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And this, like every year for the past couple years, I've tried to do in the wintertime, I've tried to do a shop tour. And I just cleaned my shop somewhat. This is the cleanest it's been since I've started woodworking. So I thought now's the perfect time. So we're just gonna get started. Right down this wall, and as you can see, it's probably the dirtiest part of it. I've got my miter station. You can see down here. I've got some pegboard with various tools. I do a lot of mechanic work, my professional job, my full-time job. So I've got, maintenance work, mechanic work, same thing. But I've got a lot of mechanical tools here, some levels, stuff. Behind it here in this corner is, let's spin you around. Is my first toolbox that I've ever bought. Actually, my wife got it for me, and previously I purchased a brad nailer, my pneumatic brad nailer. It bit the dust, and that was actually cheaper than the pneumatic, so I went ahead and I spent the money, bought it. Went with Craftsman because, well, Craftsman brand is what I got everything else. I've already had batteries, so save money that way. I got a framing nailer and a finish nailer up here on the wall. Of course, a little screwdriver rack. I actually need to lower that down. I'm always just reaching up, getting screwdrivers. It drives me crazy sometimes. But let's just keep going this way. I've got back here, I should have shown you, I've got a pancake compressor. It's a 6-gallon pancake air compressor. I got rid of my big air compressor because I didn't need one that big. Now that I think about it, my framing nailer, that compressor won't pack it, so I have to do something about that. But here's my rigid sander. It's on a movable cart, and I just move it out of the way when I need it. If I had a bigger shop, I'd try to have somewhere to put it, but I'm trying to work on that. Right here in front of it, beside my compressor, I've got another toolbox. It's got some mechanical tools in it, as well as my precision squares. Just a storage for tools is what it is. Of course, you can see there in the corner of there, beside it, over top the compressor, is a 100-foot air hose. Got a little board I put in there, just hang up, some nails or some jigsaw blades, and what have you, random stuff. My top of my toolbox, as well as the back part of my miter station, is a catch-all. That's what they've become. Of course, can't miss the split unit. If you don't have one in your shop, I swear by that thing. That is awesome. I love it. It's warm in here in the wintertime. It's cool in here in the summertime. You can't beat it. Here we got my little bandsaw. It's a Win 3959 bandsaw. And no, I cannot remember numbers, so that's why I have to look. Of course, on it, I've just been setting my trim router here. I actually need a place for it, and I've just been turning it upside because I don't ever hardly change the blade. But I got some small cut off wood storage underneath. I actually had that almost emptied out, and I filled it right back up. So over here in the corner, I've got my dust collection. Of course, I've actually rigged it up where it's above where all my piping's in the roof, and I'm not tripping over it. And then it just piped down right there. That's Harbor Freight, 70-gallon dust collection. So it's awesome. Look, could be better. Don't get me wrong, could be better. But I love having dust collection. Before, I would have sawdust that deep in the floor. Got that a few years ago. I love it. Got some clamp storage up here above for my short clamps. And this floor right here beside it has become a breeding ground for sawdust. This is where I keep all the bags. I've got an idea on what to do about it to get this out of here. but I haven't worked everything out. So I'm working on it. Let's move you down some. Right here in the middle of the shop, well, this side of the middle of the shop is my DeWalt planer. This is probably the newest thing I believe I have. There's not a lot's changed since last year, so. But DeWalt, I keep my hearing protection on top of the planer as it's loud, my router table's loud, my joiner's loud, my miter saw's loud. My table saw actually ain't really all that loud. But as you can see, I got, like I said, dust collection goes up into the roof. Oh, you can't see. Hang on. All right, back here beside my joiner, I've got some pipe clamps hanging up. Extension cords hanging up right here. My joiner is a Win JT6561 joiner. I've got plans to get a bigger joiner. I really want one that's 8 inches. Grizzly has one that's actually 8 inches, 6 foot long. I really want that joiner. Probably not going to happen, but I want a bigger joiner simply for the fact, and this, don't get me wrong, this is great when you're doing like small boards. It's great when you're doing small board, small projects. I was going to grab one and show you, get an idea. But when I make a table, it is horrible running a board through here trying to get it jointed just because the size. And I can rig up something on the sides, and I actually end up not doing it, but that'll be an issue with right here. Next off is I have a deep freeze right here. And right now it's full of deer meat. So, but if I had something, and I probably will rig up some kind of like a roller bed or something. I just don't like the idea of having something here and nothing in between and it dipping or something before you get there. But for all in all, it's a decent joiner. It's not bad. It's small, but I started out, so I didn't worry about it. It's sitting on a Cobalt workbench. That's another problem I got with it. It ain't bolted down or nothing, so it moves. But Cobalt workbench, it's a catch-all for a lot of stuff. Like I said, right here, right here is my deep freeze, and then I just don't have room for it in the house. I put it right here. Paper towel dispenser holder, paint brushes and rollers, stuff. Right here, right beside in between my walk-in door and my garage door, is my router table. It's Cobalt. It's bolted to the top of the toolbox, so I've got my router bits, stuff like that in there. Again, it's small, as in the depth. I wish I had one that was bigger. Craig makes one. Rockler makes one. Come around next after my router table over there, more the center of the shop, is my table saw. It's a Delta. I don't remember the number, but it's a Delta table saw. I had just a small job site saw, and I was able to get a hold of this one, this last one I had when I bought it, and I'm gonna tell you, it is worth it. Bigger table saw, you have, of course, bigger table, but more power, so it is awesome. I love this thing. Use it as an outfeed table for my table saw. Is my workbench. I really need to go over and refinish this workbench. As you see, I got paint lines and everything else on it. So I probably do that sometimes. Just I'm not at that point where I can right now. I was actually too busy to do this today, but I don't. So that's that. That's my workbench. Actually, I've done a video. I put it up for everything I've done a video on. I'll put up as a card in this video. So on this side, I've got a couple cabinets here. This one come out of my cabin. And this one I took out of my laundry room in my house, and I keep staining them. As you can see, I got stain and finish on top of them. I really need to clean them out, so I need to do. I took them out, and then I decided, hey, that's a good cabinet. I don't want it in the house, but I can use it out here. So right here's my Central Machinery drill press. I would like to have a ground model or a floor model, a big drill press. Same way with my bandsaw, but at times this works perfect. At times I have to hand drill because the piece is too tall or something to fit in here, or I need to go deeper or something like that. So, but all in all, it's a decent drill press. I made this rack right here. I made this rack right here for all my drills, and I got chargers right here below it, sandpaper. I just kind of I threw something together, and I was toying around and threw that together. A dado blade sits right here in front of it. If you see in the background, I got a small fan. That's when I go to craft shows or something like that, and I'm sitting there. It runs off a battery. It's hot sometimes hot, sometimes it just depends on the time of year. And pop a battery in that, and it at least moves air around. It don't keep me cool, but it keeps me from just. It's comfortable, somewhat comfortable. I've got my shop was clean. I thought it was. I got a skill saw, rip saw, just laying here. I like to make stuff coming off this to actually put on. I may end up putting a small French cleat wall somewhere. Sometime I've thought about it, haven't done it. Right here on the floor beside my bandsaw is my scrap bin. This is actually stuff that I would like I could use some of it, but for the most part, I don't like the idea of keeping a lot of scraps around, just taking up space that I don't know if I'm going to use or not. So like I said, I got a small shop. So that actually goes, I got a buddy who he's got a wood stove in his basement, and he's got 2 kids, and one of them, well, I don't want to get in details, but they got a wood stove, helps keep them warm. That's why I do it. Back here in front of the garage door, I got 4 sawhorses here, and this is usually when I pull in with lumber. I'll set them here. Right now, it's become a catch-all, so that tends to happen with things. I need to throw stuff away. I become a pack rat in that sense. I think there's one more thing I added this year. Right there is a cable winch. I've got some straps. I got some straps that I can put right here if I need to flip a table, like tabletop or something when I'm sanding or staining or anything. Of course, I always do them right here on these sawhorses. I can flip them up and set them back down with this, and it saves like my back. And it saves the trouble of getting in touch with somebody to come give me a hand with it, and it's a big help. It's a big help. So that's like a run through my shop. Nothing has really changed in the past couple years. I've upgraded a few of my tools. My miter saw, my original one burned up, so I got that 12-inch DeWalt. Table saw, I had the opportunity to get a bigger one, and I took the opportunity. Of course, my winch, that's new, or my hoist. My planer, I had I had a Wind before, and it didn't really burn out the switch. It was what actually went bad on it. but I was in a rush. I was in a hurry to try to get a job done, and I didn't have time for the part that I wasn't positive what was wrong with it to come in. So I went ahead and bought that. When I fixed the wind, it worked. Sold it. So uh, my next upgrade, if everything works out for me, it's going to be a joiner. Um, I'm still actually probably a couple years out from that. Um, but I'm also looking at a laser engraver, so I may do that as well or instead. Uh, One's because it's cheaper, two because that's more business I could get a hold of. Um, and there's still the dream of building a new shop. You know, I haven't strayed away from that one or strayed away from that one or however you want to say it. Also know this year, I haven't told y'all that. Also know this year, uh, I've created a website. The link will be in the description. That website also has links to all my affiliate links. Mad Viking Beer Company, Dr. Squatch, RZ Industries. So y'all check them out. I'm also an Amazon affiliate. So if you see something in this video that you like, chances are it's on my website, and the link from Amazon is under Amazon affiliates, and you just go through it and check it out. Uh, Honestly, I think that's it. Y'all have a good one. If you want to see a review of anything I don't have, like I said, I know my bandsaw, my drill press, my joiner, my planer, I've done reviews on. I have them in the cards when I'm around that area. Check that out. But yeah, anything else y'all have a review, put it in the comments, and I'll do a review for y'all. At least my opinion. Now it's just my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt, but I give you my honest opinion. I won't lie to you. Y'all have a good one. God bless.